It's playoff time on this edition of the Sports Desk. May we have highlights of your favorite team? And can the Saxons get through the CIF playoffs on just their hard work, or does it take more? On the volleyball court, the Spartans were the team to beat. Can Gage and company pull out a semifinal win? And the Lady Tartars came in third in the Pioneer League. Do the Young Guns have what it takes for the CIF playoffs? And West Baseball showed steady improvement throughout the season. Will they back it up in the playoffs? Get fired up because it starts right now. Hello and welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Bonnie Prickitt. Can you believe it's almost the end of the school year? I'll bet there's some seniors that don't have senioritis just yet, and I'll bet they're the ones who are still competing in the CIF playoffs. Let's go and start with some softball. The Lady Saxons roster is half full of seniors, and a lot of them have CIF rings, so they definitely don't want the season to end yet, and the softball team has only one loss in their last 18 games. Lady Saxons' Molly Winders and Kelsey Carnes lead from the mound. As for other players to lead and contribute, well, you can pretty much name any girl on the roster. Let's go and take a look at their first round game against Heritage out of Romoland, California.
The CIF playoffs kick off with round one matchups as the North Saxons host the Heritage High Pioneers. The Saxons have had a dynamite year so far and come in as the Pioneer League's undisputed #1 seed after taking the title with an undefeated league record. Heritage High has the wild card slot, but don't count them out yet. Earlier in the week, they shut out Redondo 5-0 to earn their spot in today's game, and they come in as the Sunbelt League's co-champions after a 13-2 record in league play. But it's the time of year when regular season accomplishments get thrown out the window. It's anyone's ball game, and Heritage proves that in the first when Pioneer pitcher Bethany Slicks gets the strikeout, holding North to no hits in inning #1. In the second, the Saxon dugout gets loud for their teammates, and shortstop Coco Tawali'i's feeling it. She slugs one down the middle, and it's gone. It's a 2-run homer for Tawali'i, and North takes an early 2-0 lead. Nothing else on the board till the 5th. Look out for the squeeze bunt by Alex Perez. She won't make it to first, but in comes Tawali'i again. Saxons take the 3-0 lead. North looks complete, bringing it in the box and on the field. But Heritage isn't throwing in the towel yet. With a runner on second and a chance to tie it up, Pioneers captain Bethany Slick cracks one into right field. Saxon outfielder Megan Attino running for it, and a backwards grab like it's nothing shuts it down. Final inning of the game, the score still 3-0. Heritage has one last chance to get it done. They load the bases, but can't bring it home. That's 6 scoreless innings and a one-hitter pitched by North's Kelsey Cairns. 3-0 the final score. The Saxons now on a 3-game win streak advance to round 2 and prepare to face the Sierra League's #1 seed, Chino Hills, who also knocked out their first-round opponent in a 3-0 victory. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Karen Bright.
Thanks to Karen Bright for the reporting and breaking down the highlights. Who are the sparkling Saxons this time? No surprise about junior Coco Tawali'i. She shot that 2-run home run. And of course, we can't forget Alex Perez with her RBI. Pitcher Kelsey Carnes carries a 15-3 record with this win. North will host Chino Hills for the second-round playoff game. There's another team that the Sports Desk got out to see a bit of. Going into the playoffs, the Lady Tartars are at a 17-11 overall record. They banged their way to the 3rd spot in the Pioneer League. That only got them a wild card game, can you believe it? And the Sports Desk got out to see a few hits and runs in this 12-run game. But the best part, we got a chance to talk to some of the playmakers at Wilson Park.
The Lady Tartars have already run up quite a score, but that's not the real story. This wild card game, Monique Ramirez was going to steal. Cameron Watts decides to come home. Let's talk to the freshmen about what they need to focus on.
We have to play good defense and hit.
And Cameron Watts herself definitely did some damage at the plate, contributing a triple and 2 RBIs for the Tartars. It's hard to go deep in the playoffs without good pitching, and luckily the Tartars have sophomore Christina Washington. She threw a 2-hitter with 4 strikeouts and 1 walk. Her record now stands at 18-11. Let's talk to her.
I was just really focused today. I didn't know much about this team, so I wanted to play them like they were the best because I didn't know anything about them.
That's no doubt the angle that Coach Don Glavich is preaching to his players. Seen as the deeper you get into the playoffs, the less you know your opponent. But let's talk to senior Natalie Ayala about her angle.
This victory means a lot since it's my senior year, and knowing that I'm being able to go into the playoffs. This is my 3rd year. I hope that we keep on winning and hit a lot and play good defense.
The expectations weren't very high for this young team after graduating its core members. But I have a feeling that just reaching the playoffs makes this young and talented team hungry for more.
And Torrance pounded out that wild card round game 12-0. Winning pitcher was, of course, Christina Washington. And she had 4 strikeouts and only 1 walk. Let's go and take a look at their first round results. The first round of the playoffs, the Lady Tartars were led by Reina Trejo and Lexi Ponce. Torrance was down early in the game, 4 runs, but Reina Trejo blasted a 2-run double to help Torrance to the lead. It must have been pretty when Lexi Ponce shot a 3-run homer, bringing the score to the final 9-4 win. Christina Washington pitched her 14th win of the season, and they will play at home against Chaminade for the 2nd round. Let's go and take a look at how South fared. This 2nd-place team from the Pioneer League dominated the wild card game. Poor Eastside out of Lancaster didn't stand a chance. And Lady Spartan pitcher Carolyn Snodgrass, she pitched a heck of a wild card game. A no-hitter, folks, with 14 strikeouts to her credit. Whew! Must have been a long drive up the Central Coast to the school that they played the following day, the wild card game. But the Spartans couldn't keep the same mojo going against Arroyo Grande. The Spartans end their season with a 3-0 loss. It was a good season for the Lady Spartans. Good team there. Are definitely some individuals out there who might take their play to the next level. And the North Saxons and Torrance Tartars are home for their 2nd round game. We will have the highlights for you. Good luck, ladies. And I hope to be covering you till you both meet in the finals. And what about baseball, you ask? Well, coming up after the break, we go to West to see the best of the Bay League try and take out their 1st round opponents. Stick around.
Look around you. 1 in 4 kids in the U.S. faces hunger. It's not always easy to see the signs, but in this land of plenty, there are kids that don't know where they will get their next meal. Join Share Our Strength in Food Network and take the pledge to end childhood hunger here in America by 2015. Learn how at NoKidHungry.org. Their next meal could come from you.
Never look a howler monkey in the eye. Fried ants are delicious. We finished a clinic in a rainstorm.
Really?
My students actually ended up teaching me.
In la keg, a la king.
Think managing a sales team is tough. Try working with 5 different villages. After 2 months, I was ready to quit, but after 2 years, I didn't want to leave. I didn't know I had it in me.
Turn 2 years of service into a lifetime of experience. To all the Peace Corps volunteers, past, present, and future, thank you for your service to your country and the world.
Welcome back. The West baseball team captured the Bay League crown and looked ready to go into the postseason with an 18-10 overall record and an 8-game winning streak. Hopes are high for the Warriors heading into the playoffs. And whether it be Daniel Timmerman or Colin Nelson on the mound, the Warriors pitching is a good place to start in order to be confident for the postseason. Ghazal Hassan tells us how they fared against Yucaipa in round 1.
CIF playoff baseball, the West Warriors welcome the Yucaipa Thunderbirds out of the Citrus Belt League to Torrance for their first round Division II matchup. Daniel Timmerman on the hill for West Torrance. We take it to the top of the third inning. The Thunderbirds already leading 1-0. Austin Waters out of the crouch here, fires it to Colin Nelson, who relays to Joey Nacho, applies the tag. Inning over for Ukaipa. Still 1-0. We go to the top of the fourth. 2 men out. Leonard Malfavon with a ground ball to shortstop, but Colin Nelson will throw the ball past Teddy Kerwin at first base, allowing both Greg Espinosa and JT Sandberg to score for the T-Birds, and Ukaipa now has a 3-0 lead over the Warriors of West. We go to the bottom of the fourth, and the score still 3-0. Wesley Chapeko advances from first all the way to third on a pair of balks, and then pitcher Daniel Timmerman helps his own cause. He serves this single to right field. Chapeko scores, and the Warriors have a marker. Ukaipa's lead is cut to 3-1. On in relief in the fifth, retires the first 2 hitters, then walks Greg Espinosa, and Kevin Davidson makes him pay. This double to right scores Espinosa all the way from first base. He crosses the plate and increases the lead for Ukaipa to 4-1. Top of the sixth, 2 on, 1 out. West brings the infield in, and Dan Ceballos hits a high chopper to Javi Galvan, whose only play is to first base. Alex Morabito slides home with the 5th run for Ukaipa. They don't call on the Warriors for nothing, though. Bottom 6 trailing 5-1. Juan Correa and Joey Notch stack singles back-to-back, putting runners on the corners. Here's a ground ball from Austin Waters. The throw pulls Daniel Ceballos off the bag. Everybody's safe. Correa scores, and it's now 5-2 with runners at first and second. Couple batters later, here's Colin Nelson helping his own cause. He singles through the middle. Joey Notch comes around from third to score, and West has closed the gap to 5-3. Same score as we go to the bottom of the seventh. 2 outs, Joey Notch at first. Johnny Palmer, the tying run at the plate. Tyler Sapp delivers, and it's called strike 3. And it'll be the Thunderbirds of Ukaipa advancing to the second round to play Santa Barbara. The Warriors will have to settle for the Bay League title.
Thanks, Gazal, for the story. The Warriors fell to Ukaipa 5-3 in the first round of the playoffs. Thanks to all those guys who gave us interviews as well. We couldn't get it on this time, but we'd love to recap it for you next time. They did have a great season, though, the Warriors in the Bay League. They got first. It's not too shabby. There's a core group of players coming back for more next year. Let's take a look at a few more scores. The Bishop Montgomery Knights were good when it came to crunch time. They tackled the first wildcard game in a very competitive Division 4 by beating Valle Vista 2-0. It was a rough setup going against top-seeded Oaks Christian, and the Knights lost by 9 runs. They finished the season with a 12-15 overall record. The Saxons were also in a congested Division 4. It was a dogfight for the Saxons, though, as they took on Troy High from Fullerton. The final score was Troy 4 and the North Saxons 2. The Saxons finished with an overall record of 13-9. Let's take a look at the team in Torrance that is still standing. The Torrance Tartars. They beat South Pasadena 4-3. It was a bottom of the 7th and no outs for the Tartars. Miller Olson is on second base, and one of my favorites to watch is second baseman Max Ishikawa. He goes up to bat and he nails a double to center field and sends Miller Olson speeding home for the game-winning run. And on the hill was Anthony Condors, holding South Pasadena to 1 run, 4 hits, and 6 strikeouts. Pitcher Ralph Ramirez came in to close out that game. And the Sports Desk got a chance to meet up with Trent Gilbert and David E.K. Let's see what they had to say about this win.
I think we did okay, a little shaky coming out, but definitely good to get the first win.
We didn't beat them as much as we thought we would. I mean, being the underdog we faced, but came out with a win, so that's all that's important, I guess.
So it sounds like the players are happy with the win, but let's see how the assistant coach, Terry DeWan, who's been with the program for 13 years, he's also the pitching coach, let's see what he's telling the players about the playoffs going forward.
We have to stay tight as a group and not let all that kind of outside stuff get to us. You know, we have one game at a time. We'll prepare for it the best way that we can, and then we'll go play the game. You know what I mean? But all the, you know, whatever we're ranked or whatever everybody wants to do, I mean, we can't really fall prey to that. You know, we just have to stay together.
And good luck to the Tartars as they travel to Don Lugo for the second round of the CIF playoffs. And coming up after the break, we've got a few highlights of the stellar Spartan boys volleyball squad. Can they get back to the finals?
I've changed apartments several times. My roommates have always been trouble. Now, because of the economy, I've had to move back home. When my mom gets drunk, she tells me everything I do is going to fail. I get into arguments with her about her drinking. Dad goes to Al-Anon family groups. I didn't think Al-Anon would work for me, but every time I go, I feel better. If someone's drinking bothers you, you might find help in an Al-Anon family group meeting right here in our community. I found support there. You can too. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
With video games, I'm always choosing between what my kids want and what I think is best for them. How about this one? Which is why I love these new rating summaries. They let me know exactly what's in the game. Players shoot lasers from an arm cannon. Robot enemies explode and limbs fly off. Maybe that other one's better. Yeah. Get your free game rating summary today, and with it, the world's most powerful weapon, knowledge.
Are you playing a dangerous game with the future of America's citrus? Move a citrus plant, and you could be spreading a disease that kills citrus. On its own, the disease can't move far, but in a car, an infected plant can travel miles. Move a citrus plant, and it could be game over for our citrus. Now it's your turn. Please, don't risk citrus. Don't move citrus. Learn more at saveourcitrus.org. A message from the USDA.
The Spartan boys volleyball team are on a high after their quarterfinal sweep of Temple City. South lost in the final game against El Segundo last year, and there are enough of their current players that remember the sting of that loss. You know the crazy part? There's only one senior on this stellar Spartan roster. Let's take a quick look at their semifinal matchup against Burroughs High, and this Burroughs High is from Burbank.
The greenhouse was in full effect for the semifinal game, and so is outside hitter Andy Gage for the first point. Spartans are up 7-4, and Jason Chang is a setter doing a job for Kenichi Hackman on that point. And hey, it's a Spartan there leading the crowd. And leading on the court is libero Vinny Rios. You gotta check out this spin he has on the ball. Ace. And that was the first of 3 points to get his team 1 point ahead. Just as Burroughs starts to come back with another aggressive attack, setter Jason Chang will back set Kenichi Hackman. Oh no, that's Ross Maddenwald right there with that spike for a point. The game is tied at 21. Coach McElwee says, all right, fellas, this is what we got to do. Chang, you're going to set up what looks like it's going to be Peter Nordell. But really, Gage, you got to put enough spin and power on this ball for the point. And hey, they did. South 22, Burroughs 21. South is just 2 points away from the win. Burroughs has a tall front line, but right here on the block, that's right, that's Hackman and Chang. That block bringing them 1 point closer to a Game 1 win. The energy is palpable here in the small gym at South High. One more point. Game 1 of this match will be theirs. That game would be the only win of the match, though, even though the Spartans had standout play, like this nice dig by Garrett Nita. They would go on to lose Game 2, a close one, 25-23. Game 3, another close one at 25-22. And the fourth and final game, to close it up for the Burroughs win, they lost 25-18.
The Spartans might have lost in the semis, but they kept up a good fight in the 3-1 loss. But the best part, they are only graduating one senior, so that means they're going to be really good and dominating next year. Let's go ahead and move on to some El Camino news. I would like to congratulate Guy Bunyard. He is a South Torrance alum and football player. He continued his career at El Camino, and he was just inducted into the El Camino Athletic Hall of Fame, so congrats. There are also a few updates from other Warrior athletics that I want to tell you about, so let's go ahead and take a look at them. Long distance runner David Cardona from North High should be congratulated. He dominated the South Coast Conference, and he's going to be continuing his education and running at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo on scholarship, mind you. And Ashley Gideon, another North grad, is going to be continuing her education and athletic prowess in volleyball at Chapman University. Finally, Kara Kalmar from South is a pole vaulter who's receiving the Ray Southstone Scholarship Award. She won the South Coast Conference title in the pole vault at 11 feet and 8 inches. She was also a cross-country runner. So congrats to David, Ashley, and Kara as you continue your athletic and educational endeavors. Please give us a call if you have other information that we don't have. We would love to go ahead and profile any athlete or any camp that you have coming up in the summer. It's important you call us. You can email us at thesportsdesk@torranceca.gov, and you can view all of our shows online as well. So that's the best way to get in touch with us. I just want to give a shout out and recognize the members of the Torrance Tartar wrestling team. It's not in season, they are in their freestyle season, but I just want to let you know that AJ Pistano has gone up a few weight classes, and his younger brother, as a freshman, CJ Pistano, is someone that you should take a look at and expect big things from next season. So congrats to you, and congrats to getting better on next season. And Torrance, until next time, play hard.